Good afternoon, Southern Vermont Vintage. I'm going to try to beat this thunderstorm. It is so hot out today. I figured I'd come outside and show you guys something cool and we'd talk about it a little bit. This is something that I see gets passed up a lot. Old antique vintage pewter. Now, there's a lot of old American pewter that doesn't really command much money. Its value in scrap is more than the resale value probably. But something like this here, where folks might pass up or might not see or understand. This here has some markings on it now. You can see here, it's very faint, but this says 1 pint on the top, and it's stamped Imperial. And this is a London mark here. So this is saying that this mug, some folks would call this like a beer stein. This is for measurement. A lot of folks use this for measuring things. It might have been, say, in a store somewhere where you're measuring 1 pint of grain. It could be, this very well could be at a what we call bars today. A lot of times you would see the folks, their initials would be inscribed somewhere on it. A lot of times up here, if say this was for a bar, because you'd leave this behind and you'd have your cup every time you came in. But where this was probably more than likely used in, say, a store measuring something, a lot of times you'll have the store's name inscribed with the address here on the bottom. That can help you determine it a little bit. But this here, where it's stamped and stamped Imperial, is telling us that this has to be after, say, 1826. So then we can go from there and you can start looking at some of the hallmarks. Now we got the WIV here. So William the Fourth. So that'll help us out a little bit. So that's telling us this here was stamped between 1830 and 1837. Boy, the guinea hens are going to talk to us now. Hold on a moment. All right, there we go. Chilled her out a little bit. So with the marks here, this is telling us that this was in use in London between the years of 1830 and 1837, I think, is roughly when William the Fourth marks were being used. So that's pretty cool. A lot of folks pass up on something like this. They don't understand the value, the age. They will look something like this up and they'll see some of the older, say, American pewter where something like this is worth, you know, 30 bucks, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, say, from the early 1900s American. But where this was London, stamped, hallmarked, everything, commands more value, obviously. And just the age, the history here alone, this to still be here. And, you know, you can see there's a dent here and there's lots of wear on it. There's maybe a little piece missing here up by the thumb. The handle hasn't been reattached and repaired by the looks. Anything you're seeing is some polish. A lot of folks used to polish these right up so they're nice and shiny like silver. That's where probably get some of these engraving lines that have worn down a little bit over the years. But just a really cool piece I wanted to show you guys, bring a little bit of knowledge. You see some old pewter stuff. It's not all garbage, and not all of it should go to scrap and get your scrap value out of it. But you know, be on the lookout. You know, with today's internet and everything, it's not hard to get the information you need. And there's always, different groups. I could probably email a picture of this with, say, a picture of those stamps and a picture of these stamps here, and within 24 hours I could probably get 4 or 5 different groups or society. Like there's probably because there's like silver societies and gold societies. There's pewter. There's probably pewter groups that you could go and do some research on this stuff with. But there's a little bit of knowledge. Hope you liked it. Peace out. Much love.